Hello class, this is Calvin, and welcome to Calvin's Boom Boom Labs. So today we're showing a simulation on COMSOL for the capillary action. So this capillary action is usually modeled through Lucas Washburn equation, which describes capillary flow as a bundle of a bunch of essentially you have a tube and it's a bunch of tiny parallel cylindrical tubes instead. So what this simulation here is meant to demonstrate is that if you look at the models here on the side, this is like an approximation of how tall the height would be at varying radiuses. So I believe this one varies from 10 millimeters to, was it 5,000 or something like that? But I did struggle a bit to get the fluid to actually flow. And so the basin here is meant to contain the fluid. And there's little gaps on the bottom here that would allow the fluid to rise up, and they'd be rising up different heights parallel to the radius. So the relationship between the radius and the heights are inversely proportional. So I didn't manage to get this working, but I do have another simulation that has a pretty good image to kind of get the idea across. So this is made from Python on HTML. So let's see, we can adjust things like the two radius. If you look here, two radius. So this bottom here is our basin where our water would come from, like from our summation earlier. This is the contact angle, which is the angle between the liquid air interface, and this would be the surface tension per unit. And this is our viscosity. So let's just put our radius like say here, right? Yeah. So at a 0.10 millimeter radius, our height equivalence would be 34.9. If we increase the radius, we would get a much lower height. So this just shows the inverse proportional relationship. Let's keep the radius low again. So this shows the contact angle. So this is the contact angle of the meniscus. And what this means is how much this shows the pressure difference between the atmosphere and the fluid. So usually when your meniscus forms, you have a curve. And what that means is that the side of the curve has a much higher pressure. So our contact angle really means that, say, if our angle is greater here, or if our angle is greater here, or lower, I guess, compared to air, that means that we have much greater pressure from the fluid than the air. And if we flip it around, it's the opposite. Well, we never fully go inverted in this case, but you get the idea. Our surface tension has a similar idea. This would be where you would change surface tension by adding surfactants. So surfactants have a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail, and what it does is that it adheres to the layers to the air-water interface and lowers the surface tension that way until you hit your CMC concentration. That's something else. So when you increase your surface tension, let's see what happens. So let's compare bigger difference. So we have it at 36 here. You can see the height is actually lower. It's higher. So when you're increasing your surface tension, your height actually changes accordingly. Well, I think my simulation is a little bit flawed. I think it only goes to this height. And then viscosity as well. So our viscosity actually doesn't change our height here because I think I made a mistake in the coding. It's a little bit of a mistake there. But you get the idea is that this is our Lucas Washburn equation, which was used to model this as well. So thanks for watching. I'll come back with more next time. Bye-bye.